Hey friends, my name is Nicole Rodriguez and this is my hand washing lab. In following the instructions, okay, I have already preset my work area. I'm working in the counter of my bathroom, and so I have my beaker filled with water. I have the no wash labeled test tubes with my pipette. And I have I'll just show you. I have another station for quick wash and another station for good wash, okay? And I also have my Glow Germ here, as well as my UV light. I have some antibacterial soaps and paper towels. I have the manual back there for the Glow Germ. It does have an interesting experiment. We have a visitor here. It's my Siberian Husky Anubis. He might pop in and out. He's friendly. But I'd love to start the lab. So it is indicating for us to have our protective equipment on, which I do have my lab apron, as you can see, in these goggles. Safety first. I also, it's indicating me to shake the bottle of Glow Germ well, and also apply a quarter size amount of the Glow Germ on the palm of my hand. Okay. All right. So the indications are to apply them to your hands, rub them together, make sure to get in between your fingers and onto the back of your hands. Almost like a exfoliant lotion, it feels like. Take care not to let the Glow Germ contact your clothes or any clothes, because it may stain it. So I'm wearing black. Need to be careful. All right. So my next step is to take a transfer pipette and transfer 3 mLs of the tap water from the beaker to a test tube in the no wash box. Okay. All right. I think the Glow Germ is on pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and move my test tube rack, as well as my pipette. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer 3 mLs. That's 1, 2, 3. All right, so we got 3 mLs in this test tube. I'm gonna move on to the next one. 1 ml, 2, and 3. All right. Okay. So I'm going to place this down. Okay. And again, keep in mind my hands are very contaminated with germs. So I'm excited to see what this is going to look like under the UV light. And I believe that is our next step. Let me just make sure. Okay. Repeat with the second test tube, which is what I did. Turn off the light and make sure the area is as dark as possible without compromising my safety. Okay, use the UV light to examine your work area. Be sure to check your apron or lab coat for this and the surrounding area. The contamination should light up under the UV light. That's what we'll be looking for. Observe the extent of your contamination, and we'll record it in our data. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off with the elbow, not really touching my laptop. And I'm also going to shut off the light. All right. Here's one if I could find my little UV light. Found it. Okay. So first and foremost, I'm going to kind of look at my hands. Okay. You can see that there are particles on my hands that are lighting up like a Christmas tree. And my fingers are actually staining a different color too. I guess I didn't kind of cover my fingers very well with this Glow Germ, but it is doing the trick. So I'm also going to observe the pipette, which the pipette also has residue of the Glow Germ on the distal portion of it. And I'm also going to take a look at these test tubes. These test tubes do have the residue. I believe you could see it. I'm hoping I could capture a good amount. You can see that there is residue on the actual test tube. So this is the first step of the no wash. Okay, so as you can see, and there's kind of, oh, this is pretty cool. I mean, it's not cool, but it's, you know, pretty mind-boggling that bacteria and other sources of contaminants could be left behind after your experiment. And my sink is lighting up also like a Christmas tree. I'd like to show you. Yeah, wow, okay, alrighty. Alright guys, so I am going to turn on the light again, using my elbow, and I'm gonna have to let me go ahead and turn on my laptop one more time. I'll be sure to clean my laptop pretty well. Alright. So I'm to record my findings, which we found residue on the pipette, on the test tubes, on the counter. I mean, it's pretty much everywhere. Let me turn this off. It's pretty much everywhere. Okay, now next, second part of the experiment, which would be the quick wash. Quickly wash your hands with soap and rinse. Most of us normally do this on a routine basis pretty, you know, briefly. You don't really take the time to actually wash your hands pretty thoroughly. And I'm applying some soap. Alright. Okay, so that was a quick wash. Alright. Not the... Alright. Okay, so that's a quick wash. Alright, so the next one is to take the transfer pipette from the quick wash group and transfer 3 mLs. So I'm going to move my no wash out of the way. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and move the quick wash here. Okay, these are my test tubes that I have labeled, and it's indicating for me to do the same. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and transfer, well, good thing it's only water. Okay, transfer 3 mLs. 2, 3. Okay. Same over here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take out that test tube out of my water. Okay. Kind of leave that pipette there. I'll place my water back over here. Okay. Now I'm gonna turn off the lights again and record my findings, see if I left any residue, see if any of the bacteria or contaminating sources that possibly may have been left behind are still kind of lingering on these items of my lab kit. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and test that now. All right, computer's going, lights are off. All right. Okay, so in examining the pipette, okay, I must have washed my hands pretty well because I don't see any residue on there. Oh, a little bit on the test tube. I'm hoping you could see it. But there is a little bit on that test tube. This one just has like one little spot. Couple little spots on there. Pipette isn't really that bad. Nothing on my water beaker. Beaker filled with water. Let me see. Again, the counter is looking pretty contaminated. I didn't really wash it from the last time, but again, it's pretty. It's lighting up like a Christmas tree in here. But again, it's just so important for us to really clean our surfaces even after, because again, we could leave a lot of bacteria and contaminants, even when you're cooking too. It was one of the lab questions. I'm gonna turn on the light now. It was one of the lab questions when you're dealing with raw chicken. It's so important, of course, just to make sure that you have your hands washed before, after, even taking a break, if you answer your phone. You know, just you have the potential and the risk of contaminating your surroundings, okay? Especially if you're not washing your hands. So best practice, proper hygiene. All right, so my next one is, all right, so we'll record our data. Okay, I might even do that quick step. Okay, so the part 3 of our lab is the washing techniques. Before proceeding with this activity, I did see the video. It does specify, oh, you're sliding. Sorry. It does specify, and sorry that I'm doing that because I do have bacteria on this counter. It does specify for us to wash our hands in a particular way, which you'll see me do. It also specifies about 20 seconds typically to wash your hands, and it be the duration of 2 happy birthday songs. So we'll go ahead and do that. You'll see me do that. And it is indicating for us to make sure that our hands are well in front of our body. And over the sink, of course, not anywhere else, because it could drop and or drip and contaminate the surfaces. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. So we're gonna apply the liquid hand soap to our hands, and to avoid contaminating our surface, okay, it is indicating for us to use a paper towel to push down the plunger. Okay, so I just did that. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and liberally apply the hand soap to the palms of my hands. I'm going to go above my hands to, didn't turn on the water, but there. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead again and wash my hands, palms. I'm going to go on the dorsal aspects of my hands, okay, my knuckles. A lot of the dirt could get trapped in there. We'll go between the fingers. Okay, especially if you wear like rings. Typically I'd take them off, and I forgot to take it off for this lab, but I'm going to clean it really well for that as well. And alright, also your fingernails. Okay. Alright, your palms again, your thumbs. Come and get in there. Alright. Take care to keep your hands pointed downwards and away from your body and towards the sink. Make sure to get the back of your hands and in between your fingers, like I mentioned. After thoroughly washing your hands, use the brush to clean underneath each of your nails, which I'll go ahead and grab this. Okay. This is very handy to do, especially with those ladies that have longer nails, or gentlemen that have just a little bit longer nails, where bacteria and other foreign bodies can also kind of, dirt can just linger. Okay, so I cleaned the brush with my the brush and my nails, and I'm rinsing well. From the wrist down with a paper towel. So I have a paper towel ready, and I'll go ahead and dry my hands.